So, I mean, the idea of chastity that you're trying to get out to the world is that it's not just about a behavior, but it's about an understanding of God's plan for the human being, body and soul. Is that, we're on track there?
Well, before I heard the message of chastity, I didn't know there was a plan for our sexuality. I thought we'd just get this bundle of hormones as we're growing up through our teenage years, and we're supposed to just try and figure it out. And there's so many different influences coming at you through the media, through your peers. A lot of it not good influences, but because our sexuality is so good, and that's what we've come to discover, it's such a wonderful gift from God that He didn't just give it and not leave a plan for us to follow, and that plan is chastity. And by discovering that, and by living that, as Patricia was saying, it brings so much joy, and that's what we communicate to the kids, because so many of them are looking for love for so many different reasons. Maybe they're not getting enough love at home. Maybe so many people, young people, think that sex equals love. And they think that's the best way in which they're going to find love, through that fleeting pleasure. But then when the pleasure is over, then they're left empty. Right. And then they move from one relationship to the next, and they get more and more broken.
Now, did you have any similar experiences as Patricia did when you came to the first meeting, that you were kind of standoffish maybe as to what they were going to say, or were you open and eager to hear it?
I was actually open and eager to hear it, because I went through some struggles myself with sexuality when I didn't know the plan of chastity before. I went through a conversion experience, and after that, God directed me to Pure in Heart. It was amazing. I'd seen a small little ad in the paper, in a Catholic paper, that I'd normally never pick up. I'd seen them 2 years previous, totally forgot about them, went along to an open day, and the message was so inviting. It was exactly what I needed to hear at that point in my life. And as Patricia said, the people were so welcoming, so friendly, my own age group, my own peer group, and I felt really at home straight away, and it was just great.
Father, this is common, isn't it?
Yeah, I had a question about, both of you came out from a bad experience living in the culture and the cultural messages. Is there one particular aspect that we get today in modernity that is a lie that you think a lot of young people are buying into?
Well, I don't know if there's one particular one. I can think of a lot. But the idea, say for instance, that your sexuality is something that you can use, like the whole idea of virginity. It's the beautiful, precious gift of our virginity, the gift of ourselves. There's something that can be lost or given away, or there's almost a race on in which you must lose your virginity or give it away when it's in high school, college, whenever. And that's really something of the terrible lie that so many young people buy into, that beautiful gift is not held, it's not held in esteem. They think it's something to be ashamed of. And that's really something that we try to counteract, is to really reinforce people who are striving to live chastity already in their lives, and then also reaching out to the people who have maybe walked down paths that are leading to hurt, and say, well, chastity is also for you. You can do a U-turn. You don't have to continue walking down this path.
So, I mean, Patricia, what's the reaction? You go into schools and speak on this then?
Yeah.
What's the reaction in general you get from most teenagers?
It's really positive, which always surprised me, because, I say it every day, and it doesn't get boring. That's another amazing thing. But their response is always positive, because the truth is beautiful, and you just have to respond to that. We go about it, we don't go in there trying to frighten them. It's not out of fear. You've got to present it from the point of view of truth, which is love. And I think that it's heartwarming compared to everything that's ever been presented to them. Most of the time, like, I've never heard anything like this before in my life. They're so surprised, because they have all these ideas. First of all, they think we're going to be 60 because they hear there's somebody going to talk to them about chastity,
Some old balding guy maybe.
Yeah, who's going to be.
Gray goatee.
Yeah, who's going to be, and you have to change, you're bad.
You're going to burn in hell.
Yes.
If you don't change your ways. Is that what you mean?
Basically, yeah. And with an Irish accent, though.
You may try with an Irish accent?
Go for it.
Laddie. You're going to burn in hell, laddie. Is that?
That's a bit more Scottish.
We'll work on it later. I know we're having a hard time trying to figure out how to spell my last name, because Barry is an Irish name, isn't it?
Well, Barra.
Barra. Okay, and again, how do we spell this?
B-A-I-R-E.
B-A-R?
B-A-I-R-E.
B-A-I-R-E.
Tongue twister.
There you go. My last name in Irish. Go ahead, I'm sorry. So the reaction
Yeah, sorry,
is positive. But is that partly because of the way you're presenting it? You're presenting it with more of a, I think we were speaking earlier on this, about the idea that a lot of young people are concerned about the letter of the law, the guilt and the, I've offended God and I've made the mistake, and rather than the spirit of the law, that there's a love that goes with this letter, and you have to have both. Is that right?
That's part of it, and a lot of the time people are, you're going to get a disease and die is another thing that people, it's presented from like the negative perspective a lot of the time, and not paint, because nobody decides, unfortunately, the rise in STDs is proof about this, that people know the risks of STD. They're quite well educated. I mean, it's pretty bad still, but they're quite well educated now. There's big deals made about AIDS in particular, and people are risking their lives still because your desire to be loved outweighs your common sense. People's desire to be loved is greater than that, their health, their lives almost. But it just needs to be geared in a different way, So when you come at it from the truth, from the positive perspective that God thinks sex is good and your body is good and your sexuality is good, and He has a plan for that, so you can have the fullness of that goodness and that truth which is within marriage. And then we kind of explain why and the beauty and the because when we think about our lives, no matter if you're atheist or what, about true love, we all think one person for life. It's forever. Love is forever, and everybody knows that, and everyone's desiring for that, but the world is telling you it's impossible. In fact, we were saying there about the negative things are all against this. So when you present it, and really Pope John Paul has helped Pure in Heart out, me out personally, the whole church out with understanding the beauty of our human dignity, including our sexuality. And when it's put in that context, I think it throws everything into light.
Right.
And the negative just looks, the difference becomes so clear all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's kind of like, bringing light into a dark room. You see the furniture and you don't trip over it anymore. Nobody gets hurt.